right, good evening, YouTubers. It's Friday night here in Central Florida, and it's been a couple of weeks since I've posted a video. Sorry about that, but took a couple of weeks off for the holidays and Christmas and New Year's. And to be quite honest, I was just kind of worn out and didn't do a whole lot during those 2 weeks, and decided to take a break. So we're back at it here in the garage, and I did manage to start a couple of projects over the holidays, and this is one of them here. I got a couple of tools from Santa Claus, so I decided to build a mobile cart to house a couple of tools that I got new and a couple of tools that I already had. And I needed a way to mount the tools without taking up my existing workbench. I want to use the workbench as a workbench, not as a tool holder. So I have a spot over next to my workbench that I think would work well for a mobile cart. So I designed a mobile cart, and then I played with layout on the tools to see if there was a way I could get multiple tools on the same cart, and I think I came up with a solution. So it looks like you can see kind of what I'm dealing with here. So I've got a drill press, and I got a grinder, 6-inch grinder. You probably may or may not have seen my free bandsaw that I got from a friend of mine. And then I have a chop saw that I already had. And then I've also got over here a bench sander. So right here. So I wanted to try to come up with a way to mount all 4 tools on a cart that is 24 inches deep and 30 inches wide. So did a bunch of math, played with some different layouts, and I think I came up with a solution. I know the tools that I'm going to use the most are the drill press and the grinder. So I wanted those on the front of the cart, so I can just, when it's up against the wall, I can just walk up and use the drill press or use the grinder. So I think this layout facilitates exactly that. I don't use my chop saw a lot. Compound miter saw, I guess, is really what it is. So I think it'll fit on the bottom shelf, and you probably can't see that, but it's just kind of sitting down there on the bottom. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a shelf right here that slides out, and I'm going to mount my sander on the shelf. So the bench sander, I don't think I'll use it a lot, but I do think I'll use it occasionally. So I want to be able to walk up to the cabinet and utilize the sander. So the way I came up with it was I'll make a shelf that pulls most of the way out, partially out, and then I'll have the sander down here where I can just maybe sit in a chair and use the sander, and then push it back in when I'm not using it. As for the bandsaw, I don't think I'm going to use the bandsaw a lot at all, so I came up with the solution of putting it on the back of the cart. And if I need to use the bandsaw, then that's why the cart's mobile. So I'll just pull the cart out, spin it around, and then I can use the bandsaw. And I laid all the tools out such that there's no interference with anything. So I think I can grind from the front of the grinder, no problem. There's nothing in the way. Same with the drill press. There's access, and if I push the slide over, there's plenty of access on the drill press, and there's no need to have access from the back of the drill press. So I think those two are, the interference is a non-issue. And then the bandsaw, if I orient it like I've got it, there's no interference from anywhere coming this direction, because that's the way the blade is. It goes over the grinder. The bandsaw has a limitation on this plane, and then there'll be no limitation on this plane. So I think this is going to work quite well. So I've been working on the cart. I am doing video while I'm doing it. It's just a lot of video, and I haven't finished yet. I'm going to attempt to finish tonight. I don't know if I'll get done, but I hope to finish this off because I got a couple other projects. I actually picked up wood for 2 projects that I've actually mentioned before. We'll cover that in just a second. So as soon as I get the cart finished, I'll start editing all the footage that I took from building the cart, and get probably multiple videos up, because it's going to be a long one if I do one video. I'm calling the cart a name because it's been a disaster. I'm calling it Frankencart. So I've changed my mind on the design probably 15 times throughout the build of it. I've even changed my mind on the parts that I've used in the cart. I tried to use 1 sheet of plywood. I didn't do very well with that plan. I ran out of plywood, so then I started using scrap because I don't want to buy more wood for just a piece of shop furniture. So I've made it work, and I think it's okay. It'll come out all right. If I had to build it again, I would probably build it completely differently than I built this one. But it is what it is, and ultimately it's going to work for what I need it to do. So, yeah, trying to finish the cart. I'll get that finished as soon as I can. I'll get all that footage. It'll probably take me about 2, 3, 4 days at least to get all the footage that I've taken put together into a video. I'll get that video released and get it up on YouTube. I'm also working over here. I've got some MDF, as you can see here, that I bought for 2 projects that I mentioned before. I'm going to build a cross-cut sled for my table saw. So I got a piece of MDF for that. And then I got another sheet of MDF underneath so I can build the router table for my extension on my table saw. So I'm going to build a router table extension for the right side wing of the table saw, and use some MDF for that. And I've got some oak for the runners to go in the miter slots. So the cart I'm going to need to finish first, and then I'm going to build the crosscut sled, and then I'm going to build the router table extension. After that, I've already hatched like 4 or 5 other projects in my head, which is terrible for me because I think about new projects instead of finishing old projects. But I'm trying to focus in and get these done, get them documented, and keep moving. I've got some other storage projects I want to do. I've got an electrical project that I want to do. I want to add a circuit here to the garage, at least 1. I really want to add 3, but I'm researching the details on that. I still got some other storage projects over above the workbench and the garage door that I want to do. I just haven't gotten to that yet. And I've done some reorganization out here as well. But so I'm back in the groove. I'm going to try to stay motivated and get these projects done and keep bringing you some content. So thank you again. More to come. I'm working this cart video best I can, as quickly as I can. And if you like the videos, please hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, because I've got a lot more content on the way. So thank you.